give us a brief introductory to the Dove Recovery House for Women.
So we are a free residential treatment program for women with substance use disorder. We're the largest in Indianapolis, and we house 40 women a night here in Indy. And then most recently, we opened a location in Jasper, Indiana, so about two and a half hours south of us, and house 15 women there. We ask for a 90-day stay. They can live here for 2 years. And while they're here, they're getting case management, individual and group therapy, life skills, relationship building, and really at the core of everything that we do is trauma focused. So about nearly 100% have some form of trauma as an adult, and then about 90% have early childhood sexual abuse.
Wow. How did this all come to be? How did this start? Where was the inspiration, I guess?
Well, we've been around since 2001, and we were started by a woman that was in recovery herself and recognized the need for sober living housing for women with substance use disorder. And from there, the model and the program has continued to evolve to meet the changing needs of our women. The last 8 years, we've been very intentional about making sure everything that we do is evidence-based. So that research shows that focusing on trauma, the longer a person's in recovery or in a sober living environment, the better off they are to maintain sobriety. So yeah, we just started by a woman that cared about other women.
But what are some of the circumstances that might lead to a woman finding herself here?
So again, what I always say is that trauma is the gateway drug. So trauma brings them to substance use disorder, and substance use disorder brings them to Dove House. So average age of first drug use for our clients is 13. So if you know children, generally most children are not picking up drugs or alcohol, and they don't start with heroin or amphetamines, anything like that. They're starting with alcohol or pills or marijuana. And so for them, it's learning that they feel good. They can mask the pain that they're experiencing, and it just catapults from there. And, we just see a cycle, an effect. They generally, by the time they get to us, they've experienced homelessness or they are homeless. It doesn't necessarily mean that they've come from a family of poverty or substance use disorder, although we do see that women who have substance use disorder in their family, there tends to be more of that. But again, the number one kind of circumstance is that trauma piece happen.
Right. What's the biggest misconception about a woman in recovery, or perhaps a woman who hasn't found recovery yet, a woman that is a user or struggling?
Yeah, it's a very marginalized, or not a marginalized disease, but a very judged disease. Again, it's looked at as a personal choice or a moral failing. How could a woman choose drugs or alcohol and not take care of her children? Because women are natural caregivers. The responsibility of raising our children or our community, because we don't just take care of our children, we take care of our friends, our family, our coworkers, our neighbors. And if we are not willing to put drugs or alcohol down to sacrifice for our children, then that must be because we're selfish and because we don't love our children, and that couldn't be further from the case. By the time women come to Dove House, they've been in other treatment programs, but most treatment programs are short stays. And then you go back into the environment, community that you lived in before, and it doesn't stick.
All those tools.
So I think there's just a lot of misconceptions around substance use disorder and homelessness.
What is the average duration of stay for a woman here at Dove Recovery House?
So again, we ask for a 90-day stay, and they can stay here 2 years. Average length of stay is about 6 to 7 months. Now, we do have a program called Steps to Success, which has been funded in part by MyBor Foundation. And Steps to Success is for a woman when she successfully completes this program, she can move into a home or apartment, and the lease is in her name. So she can build up that credit, and then we'll provide 8 months of rental subsidy. So up to 50% for 4 months, 25% for 4 months. And then while they're going through that program, they're getting ongoing case management weekly and therapy and relapse prevention groups. So a person can be in our program for up to 3 years, depending on their needs. And every person is different. So we have individualized treatment plans. We say recovery it's an individual's journey. How long and what they need is up to them.
What does a typical day here at the Recovery House look like?
So every day we have we usually start every morning with a morning reflection. So that's at 8:30 in the morning. So all the women are up. We start the day on a high note. So they usually do some sort of reading. We're not a faith-based program. There may be a faith element, but a meditation. And then they usually share, and then we have music. But it's a really great way to just start the day on the right foot. And then from there, they're meeting with their case manager, their therapist. We have lots of groups here. So we have IOP, relapse prevention, seeking safety, relational needs, stages of change. Then we have groups from the outside come in. So we have financial literacy, healthy sexual behaviors, parenting classes, job readiness. So those groups will come in and provide these necessary life skills. We provide 3 meals a day and a snack. So they're busy during the day. We also want them to have downtime because recovery can be hard and it's exhausting. It's about building a community. And that's important to us, is that, the women here see each other as sisters and support one another.
That's awesome.
And that's what our team does. We say that we love them until they can love themselves, and then we're going to keep on loving them, because that's what makes us stand out here, is that we're not a clinical program where women come in and get treatment and then leave. We develop solid relationships. For most of them, this is the first time that they've had a safe place and people that they can trust and be loved on. And that's what we show them. We embody showing them and leading and teaching them that they deserve to be loved and respected, that they are amazing human beings. We see them through the lens of humanity and not through their addiction.
To somebody that is watching right now, who might be really compelled by everything that you've had to say, and now they're feeling compelled to help, really touched by what you said, compelled to help, what would you say to them?
Well, I would encourage them to go to our website, which is doverecoveryhouse.org, and sign up for our newsletter. Because when you sign up for our newsletter, we have a newsletter that goes out about once a month, and that keeps them up to date on all the happenings. Of course, we're always looking for donations. We have our annual celebration luncheon and dessert auction coming up September 20th at the Ritz-Charles from 11:30 to 1. So we sell tables and tickets. And then follow us on social media, because again, that's a great way to find out exciting things that are happening, needs that we might have. We have a wish list on our website that goes through Amazon, because we provide everything, anything from pillows to toilet paper to laundry soap and shampoo and conditioner and things that we need here. So I would just encourage people to check us out on our website and social media and find out what's going on. We're always looking for volunteers and groups to come in and do programming and such.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for having us, Wendy. And don't forget to go to their website to learn more about the ways you can help.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. We're back. So Amy's here to join us today from Dove Recovery. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of our day.
Thanks for having me. I'm feeling a little pressure being the bad up or the cleanup batter.
You're not the cleanup batter.
All right.
No, you're like,
I'm going to bring it home.
yes,
That's
You're gonna bring it home.
I'm going to bring it home.
Yeah,
It's like the cherry on top,
All right.
Yes.
right?
I love it.
Cherry on top.
It's a big hour. It's big things are happening, and you're here to make it even better.
Love it.
Well, and that's the perfect time, because I wanted to start this by saying I want to make a bold statement that I would venture to guess, and Terry touched on this when we had Pathway to Recovery on earlier. I think every one of us out there watching probably knows somebody who has been impacted by addiction, either themselves or they know a family member or a friend or something. Like, it's just so common.
Statistically, 1 in 8 people will have an issue with addiction in their life. So
You say 1 in 8?
1 in 8. So it's probably 8 people right near this table.
Yep.
So, one of us.
Yeah.
And so knowing that it is so common, that's why I love the organizations like you, like Pathway to Recovery, and the good work that you're doing. And one thing I mentioned off air was you guys really, in so many of our organizations,
Yeah.
it's about getting to the root of the problem. We're going to go look to the root cause. And Wendy touched on in the video, we're going to find what was the trauma, what led you here to make the choice to choose the substance. And so talk to us a little bit about that, what you are working on. It's more than just cleaning up and getting back on your feet. You are really doing some good hard work.
Absolutely. And let me just say that it's our women who are doing the hard work.
Sure.
We are creating opportunities for them, but they are so courageous and they are so determined to turn their lives around. And 70% of our doves, so we call our ladies doves,
Okay.
70% of our doves have experienced trauma as an adult. More than 90% of our clients, our doves, have experienced childhood sexual abuse.
Okay.
So that is some really deep-seated trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes our brains just don't know how to deal with that. And the way that we deal with that is we try to escape. And so that is the kind of work that our ladies are doing. And so what we want to do is you can't just put someone in front of a mirror and say, face this.
Right.
You have to really meet them where they are.
Right.
So some ladies come in and they are ready and they want to talk about it and they will accept whatever help is there. Some ladies come in and they've got a wall. They do not trust you. They are with us because either they know they need it, they have been told they need it, often by the justice system, or they need a place to stay. And the women who really succeed are the women who are there because they are done covering up their trauma. They are ready to work through it. And the thing about, I was talking to someone today, the thing about Dove House, and you think about, all these women are coming from a trauma situation. So you think that there would be a lot of people, sitting around crying, long faces. Dove House is a really energetic, joyful place. I don't know if you experienced that.
I did. That was one thing I got to say earlier today that we didn't get to show in the video. There was a woman who was just feeling down, didn't get the job that she was going for. And at least 2 or 3 other women around her, it's okay. You're going to get it next time. Just keep trying, keep going. And to see women supporting women and encouraging each other, it was such a testament to everything that Wendy explained was going on there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We are there for the women, but they are there for each other. And there's a lot of laughing that happens. There's a lot of my favorite. So I've only been with Dove House for 3 months.
Okay.
So my favorite onboarding experience was getting to attend a house meeting, which I actually do on a fairly regular basis. So every other Friday, our ladies get together and we have sort of a house meeting to talk about whatever's going on, whether it's program or it's functional, operational things in the house. But they start the house meeting with a song.
Okay.
And so the house meetings I've been to, they use This Is My Fight song, which I will not sing because all of your users.
That's
It's
great.
kind of a big one to bolt out.
Yeah, so I'm not going to sing it for you, but they started with that. And there's so much energy and love in the room. And then at the end of the house meeting, they do shout outs. And so the women are giving shout outs and announcements of appreciation to other women in the who are living in the house. They're giving, shout outs to people in the who are on the staff. I mean, it really is a place where women can come, they can get healthy, but they can be loved. And a lot of our women haven't been loved in a healthy way before.
Wendy said, we love our women until they love themselves or learn to love themselves.
Yeah.
And I
absolutely.
love that. And I definitely saw that when I was there.
Yes. And we love them for the women that they are.
Yes.
We aren't concerned. We're not judging them, or our love is not conditional on whatever decisions they have made in their lives. Right? We love them because who they are.
Because society sees the decisions.
Correct.
Society sees the decisions. Oh, she's a mom and she just chose this over her kids or chose this. And that's not the case.
It's not. And, alcohol and drug addiction, substance use disorder is really probably one of the most stigmatized and judged diseases out there. Well, why don't they just stop?
Right.
Why don't they just stop? And the answer is because they have a disease.
Right.
Their brain chemistry is different.
Right.
And there are ways that we can help them overcome that. It's kind of like a kid with ADHD in school, right? So you can medicate a child, and sometimes that's appropriate, but you also teach them behavior modification. You teach them the ways to deal with the feelings that they're feeling in a healthy, positive way. Right. And that's what we're trying to do.
You can't just take away the substance.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's going to find them.
Right.
Right.
Or they'll find something else.
Else. Absolutely.
Right.
I love that you said that word stigma, because that is something. We're not just here to raise money today. We're here to educate people and inform them, and really to kind of light a fire for them as well, to help all of these causes and the people in our own communities. But there are a lot of stigmas. So is there anything else that you would like to kind of just hit head on as far as the stigmas that these women come across, and that maybe we just need to hear to be able to help in any way we can?
Sure. since I joined Dove House, one thing I've thought a lot about is second chances. You know, how many of us have screwed up, made a mistake, some bigger than others, you know, and somebody gave us a second chance. And that's all we're doing. You know, we're giving these women a second chance. Maybe we're giving them a third chance. Maybe, you know, the thing we know about substance use disorder is it is not a linear path to recovery.
Yeah.
You do not start here and end here. Your path kind of goes like this and around, you know, it's so we're not here to judge. We're not here to, and we need to get over that thought in society, you know, that these women are sick and they have a disease, and we want to help them learn how to manage that disease. It's not a disease that goes away. You know, when you have substance use disorder, your brain is always going to have substance use disorder.
Yeah.
So it's not going to go away. The other thing that I would encourage everybody who's watching to think about is this is not just throwing money at a problem.
Right.
All the dollars that are raised here at the Stream-a-thon today are an investment.
Yes.
It's an investment in an individual's future. It's an investment when it comes to our ladies. When the Realtor Foundation provides us with a donation and we are able to serve a woman, we are also serving her family. Very often we are serving her children. We, part of the great thing we do is we help women reunify with their families and their children. We had a woman several years ago who she was going to lose her children. There was a decree from the court and she was on the path. She was going to lose her son, and she ended up coming to Dove, recovering at Dove, staying, petitioning the court, showing through all the visitations, and she lives with her son now. You know, this is a lady who almost lost him.
Yeah.
And they're still together. And that's because of the work that Dove is able to do. And Dove is able to do the work that we can do because the community is willing to invest in us.
So that's a great segue into the next thing I wanted to ask you about. When Courtney and I were there to film that video, we got to see the wall of doves.
Yes.
Which showcases the before and after pictures, really, the women when they come in and when they leave. And Wendy said they get to pick their before picture and then there's their after picture. So I want you to share a little bit about just the success rate and what life looks like after Dove recovery, you know, the testimony to the great work you all are doing.
So our success rate is about 70%. And that means that someone has come in, they have stayed with us for at least 90 days. We ask them for 90 days. They can stay for up to 2 years. Most of our ladies stay somewhere between 6 and 8 months. So they've come in, they have completed their intensive outpatient. When they are ready to leave, they are either employed or in some kind of a training or school. So we've got a 70% success rate. And those, we actually, even on our staff, we have, I think, 4 former Doves on our staff.
I recognized one when I came
How
in
cool is that?
One works the front desk.
Yeah.
Her story was so compelling too.
All of their stories
All
are
of them.
amazing, you know. And so we're not only asking the community to welcome these women, we are welcoming them. We are saying, you know, hey, you've done such a great job. And we think, and that's the other thing that I think is so important. And you talked about the women supporting each other, but being able to, all of our ladies come in, they're assigned a therapist, but they're also assigned a peer case manager.
Okay.
And so all of our peer recovery case managers are people with lived experience in addiction, which means either they're in recovery themselves, or they have lived with addiction in a family member. So they know what it is like.
That's awesome.
They know what it's like. And so the women can trust them.
Yeah.
Because they've been there.
Yep.
They know it.
Oh my goodness. That's so awesome.
I'm like so overwhelmed.
I know.
And I think a lot of it is this culture that you guys have built there that, I mean, not only do these women need, I'm sure, and want and love being in that space and environment, but like literally the whole world needs that.
Yeah.
Like every group of girls and women and, you know, saying, you know, giving each other appreciation and cheering for each other and mentoring each other. That's a lot. That's really incredible that you guys have built that. Can you guys tell us what's coming up next? What's on the horizon for Dove?
Yeah. Big things coming for Dove. So our next big event, and we only do one event a year, so I shouldn't say next big, but we have our luncheon and dessert dash on September the 20th. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's going to be a little different this year, and I've not been to it before, but we've all been to auctions, right?
Yeah.
So instead of sitting there watching someone, so we have fabulous cakes from bakeries all over the city.
You're talking.
Right.
I'm with you.
Absolutely, right? I mean, fabulous.
I hope my mom's watching. We like cake in this family.
Okay.
We really like cake.
Well,
So
you need to bring your mom.
let's keep going.
So instead of sitting there and auctioning off 10 or 12 cakes to 10 or 12 individuals, we are going to harness the power of the group. So your table will all put your bids together, and each group is bidding against the others to be first in line to pick the cake, the one that you want.
That's awesome.
Right?
Delicious.
So
I know. Do we get to eat it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there'll be a scroll. So up on the screen, you'll be able to see if your table has fallen behind. All right, I got to bid some more. I got to donate some more
great.
because and that donation period's only going to be like 7 to 10 minutes. It's going to be like fast. Then if sadly your table does not get one of the big and beautiful cakes, we have over 400 individual desserts that have been donated again by bakers and restaurants and amazing things. So if you in that bid round, in that donation round, have donated at least $50, you can go pick a fabulous individual dessert.
Okay.
So no one has to leave there unsweetened.
I love that. That's a great event. What day is it?
That is Wednesday, September 20th.
Okay.
You can find a link to tickets at doverecoveryhouse.org.
Wonderful.
But so that's a fun thing coming up,
Yeah.
right? But the other thing that we are really excited about is we're working on some expansion that we'll be talking more specifically about in Indianapolis.
Awesome.
So currently, Dove House can serve 55 women, 40 here in Indianapolis and 15 in our home in Jasper, Du Bois County.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm telling you what, ladies, that is a house that you want to live in.
Yeah.
In Du Bois County, it's a beautiful home.
Oh, is it? I mean, we like beautiful homes.
Right. No shade to our house in Indianapolis, but where we're living in Indianapolis is a larger facility, and it was not a home to begin with. This was a house that was then renovated. It's just gorgeous. So, but we're looking to serve more people. So, in the next year, 2 years, I think you will be seeing Dove House being able to serve more people in Indianapolis, more people in other counties. Bartholomew County has created a nonprofit called Bridge to Dove. They want Dove House to come and serve the women in their county, and we want to do it because the need is so great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So obviously money helps.
Money helps.
And we could use some more money. But what are the other ways that people could get involved?
Sure.
What other help do you need?
Oh, absolutely. When a dove comes to us, very often they are coming with nothing but what they're wearing. Some of them have more things, but we provide everything.
Okay.
We provide toiletries. We provide toothpaste. We provide soap. We provide, I just had it in my head and it went straight out. Anyway, we provide everything that they need.
All the things.
All the things. So if somebody wanted to get, I think it would be a fabulous idea if you wanted to. Now July is over, but I was thinking like we could do August in July, right? I'm going to invite all my friends to come to my house to watch the Christmas episode of Ted Lasso because it's my favorite and I will watch it every month of the year and say, okay, you can all come, we'll have fun, and everybody bring twin sheets. Brand new twin sheets for Dove House.
Okay.
So we need twin sheets. We need twin comforters. We need pillows. We need bath towels.
Okay.
Those kind of things. Obviously, again, money is helpful. We need people who can just help us get Dove House out in the community. My kids, when they were in school, they went to a school that they wore uniforms. So every Friday they could pay $1 to get to wear jeans.
Okay.
And the school would then take all the money that was donated and give it to a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So if your school does that, if your kid's school does that, if your office does that, although most offices are pretty casual these days ananyway, but
This is true.
if your office
Especially
does that, suggest that, hey, maybe our donation this month can go to Dove Recovery House for Women. So
That's awesome.
Love that. Those are great ideas. And you guys are incredible. This is incredible that you give your time, that you give your passions and your hearts to all of this and what you're doing in the community. So,
Is there anything that we haven't asked you that needs to be shared? I mean, there's so much that's going on, but
you haven't asked how I can look this great and have it all too.
oh, that's right.
I mean, you just have it.
I just have it.
You got it.
I think that I will say this. I feel so fortunate to be at Dove House. I think a lot of times when you get into the nonprofit sphere, people think, oh, those clients are so lucky to have you. And I'm going to tell you what, we are the ones who are lucky because we get to see their strength, their determination, their love for each other, and we get to see their spark come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you've ever known someone who was depressed or down or grieving or whatever, and you see that little light come back in their eyes, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just such a gift to be a part of that. And the people who are part of this Stream-a-thon, that's, they can have a little bit of that gift to just knowing that that's where their money's going.
I love it so much.
I know there's nothing like pouring in to your fellow man.
Yeah.
No,
And
absolutely.
just paying it
It's the best.
forward. So we will flash the slide that has information on how to contact you, but tell everybody where they can go to learn more about Dove Recovery House, get involved, all the fun things.
Sure. So you can find us at doverecoveryhouse.org. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Right now on Facebook, we are part of a challenge from Floors to Your Home. If you go to the Floors to Your Home page on Facebook and you watch the Dove House video, if you click like, that's one vote for us.
Nice.
And at the end of 4 weeks, I think it is, whoever has the most votes gets some new flooring. And let me tell you, when you have 40 ladies living in one house, your flooring.
You could use some flooring.
You could use some flooring.
40 anything.
I get it,
Living in
right?
one. Yeah.
You know, and our ladies, I will say this too. The other thing is, our ladies work hard, and we have chores. They take care of the house.
Mhm.
They clean it. You know, we don't have a cleaning service that comes in and takes care of that. You know, it's their home,
Mhm.
and so they treat it like their home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. We love everything that you're doing. And thank you again for taking
Appreciate
time
you.
out of your
Thanks for
busy
having us.
day.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amy. We loved
Oh.
having you. And we've got 15 more
I know.
minutes
We've
to
got
ride.
15 minutes left. Don't make me do math, but it's over $10,000.
We got work
so we've
to
got
do.
to get
All right,
going.
Kate's
Thank you,
uncle,
Amy.
if you're out there,
That's right. Uncle John, where are you?
we're waiting.
Come on, Uncle John.
All right.
Thanks, Amy.
ladies.
All right. We'll be
Thank you
right
so
back with
much.
more fun.